Every day, without realizing it, we make a choice. Not the kind that appears on paper or in front of witnesses. Not the kind we announce proudly to the world, but a silent decision. A decision made in the quiet moments when no one is watching. The decision of whether we will choose ourselves or abandon ourselves. Most people believe their life is shaped by big moments: graduation, marriage, career changes, success, failure. But the truth is darker. Our life is shaped by the small moments when we said, "I'll wait. I'm not ready, maybe later. What will people think?" And slowly we stopped choosing ourselves. We chose comfort over courage, approval over authenticity, security over purpose. And at first it felt safe. We took the job that paid the bills but drained our soul. We stayed in relationships that gave us stability but stole our voice. We followed paths that looked respectable but felt empty. We told ourselves it was temporary, just for now, just until things get better. But time has a cruel way of turning just for now into a lifetime. Years pass, dreams fade, and one day we wake up and realize something terrifying. We are living a life that does not belong to us. We smile in public, but inside something feels missing. A quiet sadness, a constant restlessness, feeling that we are capable of more but trapped. And the worst part, no one forced us here. We chose this not with intention, not with courage, but with silence, with fear, with hesitation. We betrayed ourselves slowly, politely, responsibly, and now we wonder why we feel disconnected, why success feels hollow, why happiness never stays. The price of not choosing yourself is not paid immediately. It is paid in regret, in exhaustion, in unrealized potential, in the life you never lived. But here is the truth most people never hear. It is not too late. The story is not finished. And the next decision you make can change everything. Because choosing yourself is not selfish. It is the beginning of becoming who you were always meant to be. Fear is a clever architect. It does not build prisons with iron bars. It builds them with thoughts. What if I fail? What if they laugh? What if I lose everything? What if I'm not enough? Slowly, carefully, fear designs a cage around our life. And the most dangerous part, the door is always open, but we are too afraid to walk out. From childhood, we are trained to please. Be good, be quiet, be realistic, be like everyone else. We are taught to follow rules, traditions, expectations. Parents want safety, teachers want obedience, society wants conformity, and somewhere along the way, our own voice becomes faint. We stop asking, "What do I want?" Instead, we ask, "What should I want? What is acceptable? What will make them proud?" And without noticing, we trade our dreams for approval. We silence our curiosity. We bury our creativity. We abandon the parts of ourselves that don't fit neatly into the world's design. Fear tells us stories. It tells us that change is dangerous, that passion is risky, that following your heart leads to failure. So we choose the predictable path, the safe career, the stable routine, the familiar misery, and we call it responsibility. But deep inside, a voice whispers, "This is not your life." That voice appears at night. In moments of loneliness, when we see someone living boldly, when we imagine a different future, and we push it away because listening would mean changing, and changing would mean risking, and risking would mean choosing ourselves. But here is what fear never tells you. The pain of staying small is greater than the pain of trying. The regret of inaction lasts longer than the regret of failure. People rarely regret the risks they took. They regret the chances they never gave themselves. Every dream you ignore becomes a weight on your soul. Every truth you suppress becomes a fracture in your identity. Until one day, you no longer recognize yourself. You become successful but empty, busy but unfulfilled, respected but disconnected. This is the hidden price. Not losing money, not losing status, but losing yourself. And once you lose yourself, finding your way back becomes the hardest journey of all. Inside every human being lives a version of themselves they never became, a stronger version, a braver version, a more honest version. This version appears in daydreams, in quiet moments, in late-night thoughts. It whispers, "You could be more, you could live differently, you could create something meaningful." But most people never meet that version. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack courage. Potential is a fragile thing. It does not scream. It waits patiently. And if ignored long enough, it disappears. When you don't choose yourself, you don't just delay success. You damage your relationship with your own soul. You begin to doubt your instincts. You lose trust in your desires. You stop believing in your dreams. And slowly you settle, not because you are satisfied, but because you are tired of fighting. You convince yourself that passion is childish, that ambition is unrealistic, that happiness is optional. But the body remembers, stress builds, anxiety grows, energy fades, because the human spirit was not designed to live in contradiction. When your outer life does not match your inner truth, something breaks. And here is the tragedy. Most people realize this too late. They reach middle age, they look back. They count the years they spent waiting, waiting for permission, waiting for confidence, waiting for the right time. And suddenly, time feels expensive. The dreams feel distant. The courage feels harder to access. They tell themselves, "It's too late now." But it was never too late. They were simply afraid. The cost of not choosing yourself is not just emotional. It is creative. It is spiritual. It is existential. It is the book you never wrote, the business you never started, the love you never pursued, the truth you never spoke, and the world loses something irreplaceable. Because your potential is not only for you, it is for everyone your courage could have inspired. When you hide, the world becomes poorer. When you choose safety over purpose, humanity loses a possibility. And that is a loss greater than failure. There comes a moment in every life, a quiet but powerful realization. You understand that no one is coming to save you. No one will give you permission. No one will choose you. Except you. This moment is uncomfortable because it forces honesty. You see clearly where you betrayed yourself. The dreams you postponed, the boundaries you never set, the truths you never spoke, and for the first time you stop blaming circumstances. You stop blaming people. You stop blaming fate. You look in the mirror and you take responsibility. This is where transformation begins. Not with motivation, not with inspiration, but with a decision. A simple but radical choice. I will not abandon myself anymore. Choosing yourself does not mean quitting everything overnight. It means small acts of loyalty to your truth. It means saying no when you mean no, speaking when you usually stay silent, trying when you usually hesitate. It means allowing yourself to want more, to expect more, to become more. Choosing yourself will feel selfish at first. People will question you, some will resist you, some will misunderstand you. Because when you change, the roles you played for others disappear. And not everyone is ready for the real you. But here is the reward: clarity, energy, alignment. For the first time, your actions begin to match your values. Your work feels meaningful. Your relationships feel honest. Your life feels intentional. You stop chasing validation. You stop comparing. You stop living for applause. And something powerful happens. Confidence grows, not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that comes from integrity. From knowing that even if you fail, you failed as yourself. And that is freedom. You may not become famous. You may not become rich. But you will become whole. And wholeness is a success no one can take from you. When you finally choose yourself, life does not become easier. It becomes real. Challenges remain, fear remains, uncertainty remains, but something fundamental changes. You are no longer running from your truth. You are walking toward it, and that changes everything. Your decisions become clearer, your priorities become sharper, your energy becomes focused. You stop wasting time proving your worth. You start building it. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You create it. The future no longer feels like a threat. It feels like an invitation, and slowly a new life begins, not perfect, but authentic. Not glamorous, but meaningful. You start respecting yourself, and when you respect yourself, others follow. Opportunities appear, not by magic, but because aligned people and paths recognize aligned souls. Most importantly, you wake up without regret. You look at your life and say, "This is mine," even with mistakes, even with failures, even with uncertainty, because it is honest, and honesty is peace. The price of not choosing yourself is heavy, but the reward of choosing yourself is a life that feels worth living, a life where your potential breathes, where your voice matters, where your presence is not an accident. So today, not tomorrow, not next year, not when conditions are perfect. Today, ask yourself one question: where have I abandoned myself? And then take one small step back toward who you truly are. Because the greatest tragedy is not failure. It is living a life that was never yours. And the greatest victory is finally choosing yourself.